Okay, we've prepared the data, we've imported the data from Excel, then we've prepared the data for uh, analysis in SPSS. Now let's look at the analytics we could carry out. Well, of course, we've talked about um, at the beginning of this SPSS training that we will cover both descriptive statistics as well as inferential statistics with specific attention to comparing group techniques. But let's look at the descriptive statistics first. So here we will look at descriptive statistics for both categorical variables. Categorical variables are those ones with given value. Remember that it's one male to female. It's one primary school to a secondary school and so on. So all those variables that the number is representing a group instead of the face value of the number, then it's the categorical variable. When you have a number that represents the value by itself, for example, age, if you see the age is 59, then 59 means 59 is 59 years old, right? Then it's called a continuous variable. So the descriptive statistics for categorical and continuous variables are different, but we will look at either of them, and we'll look at both of them. Then we'll examine the distributions of our variables. We'll actually check whether there is missing values, outliers, as well as the distribution itself. So distribution check is very important for inferential statistics because later on you will find out that distribution is an important indicator of what type of uh, inferential statistics you could apply to in terms of analyzing the data theory. Lastly, we look at graphs and charts. We look at how to make those distribution check, that is histogram, also some basic bar and pie chart or scatter plot plotting. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning with the descriptive statistic for categorical variable. So instead of just walking through these steps, we'll work on it together. So let's look at one example. So do we have one example here? Okay, let's use the data set we've prepared previously. Let's use this data set. So descriptive statistics for categorical variable. I just make it larger. For categorical variables means that we could actually analyze the frequency, for example, or the distribution of gender, education, smoker, non-smoker, and age group 3. All these are categorical variables. Where for continuous variable, ID is ID, so we're not going to analyze ID. For continuous variable, age, life satisfaction, and self-esteem, we could analyze the descriptives of these as well. But for categorical variable, the descriptives are often the mode which we introduced during the central tendency discussion. So we care about the mode, where for continuous variable, we care about the mean value instead of the mode. For dispersion, for continuous variable, we could actually examine the variance and standard deviation. But for categorical variable, we could only analyze the frequency, percentage frequency, for example, of different um, uh, share of the categories. Now we do it together so you have a better understanding of what I've been talking about. So for example, you want to find out whether we have more male or female in our data set. We've got 30 observations here. So Well, it is a small data set, so if you like, you could, of course, just number how many male and how many female participated in this data set, but we could do that really easily and quickly with SPSS. So where to do the descriptives for categorical variable? Just go to Analyze, that's the tab. That's a tab on the top of the screen. So Analyze and go to Descriptive Statistics, that's the second menu. Then go to the frequencies instead of descriptives. Descriptives are for continuous variable, where frequencies are for categorical variable. Now we can see that gender information, that is the sex here, we can move it to the right hand side. So how I've done that, I've just highlighted by left clicking on gender and click this arrow to move it to the variable box. So the right hand side box will be the box that analyzed in terms of the descriptives. So we could actually click on the statistics and tell SPSS what we want. Is that mean, median, or mode we want? Is that standard deviation or minimum? But actually, I go ahead with the default setting. I don't need all these because these are more for the continuous variables. For the categorical variable, we care just about the percentage share of each category. So if I click OK, then statistics, the first table means how many observations being observed, how many missing values. That's fine, 30 people, no problem. But the second table gives us the percentage of both male and female. So we can see that there are 10 male participants and 20 female participants, which means that there's 33% of male participating and 66.7% of female participating. Together, it's 100%. So the obvious answer is that there's more female participated in this sample. We could do the same to education. That is which group of education majority of our sampled individuals are have achieved or has achieved, right? So to analyze education, we just move the gender back by highlighting it and click on the arrow. So it's been moved back. Then we highlight highest education and move it to the right hand side. Click OK. Now we can see that, okay, secondary, there's 4 people are secondary level of education, 5 high school, 6 additional, 11 undergraduate and 4 postgraduate. So obviously we've got a lot of undergraduate degree individuals in our sample. So it's actually a pretty well educated group of people we've sampled. Okay, and this is the percentage of each of the groups here on the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth column. Then age group, for example, we could do a quick analysis of the age group frequency. So just move it back, age group here. Okay, so 6 young people, 12 middle-aged, and 12, 45 is not exactly senior. So just say that we have majority of our sample are middle-aged individuals instead of young people who's under 30 years old.